Hi, today I want to show you some tips and tricks that I have learned through using Schoology in the last year with the new assessments platform. So I've created a few questions already just to kind of go quickly through these and show you the things that I've learned and that I like to use. So with multiple choice questions, I love to be able to use the shuffle options and the multiple responses buttons. Shuffle options is really great because then kids can't have a wandering eye and look over and say, oh, they clicked the second one. It must be the second answer. It shuffles for everybody and everybody has a different answer order. The multiple responses is really great too because then I can say, give me two of the best pieces of evidence for this. So you have all those options there for your multiple choice questions. Now matching, I like to use matching, and I like to use matching in a couple different ways. So sometimes I'll use matching and I will say that I can have duplicate responses. So if I don't have this clicked, then that means that every time I use, the students would drag and drop a question in, it'll eliminate it down here in the bottom. But if I want to say duplicate responses, then I can answer a clothing item for all of these if I really want to. So depending on what I want to test the kids on and what I want to really know, then I might have duplicate responses, or I might say, let's just let them eliminate their options, kind of like in a normal matching on paper pencil, how you could allow the students to cross off as they use them. If you don't duplicate responses, then it'll be like that. The other nice thing is your scoring type. Any question on Schoology that has more than one answer, so this one essentially would have 4 answers, you can say it's a partial match, and it will create the formula of however many they got correct divided by the amount of points is how many points they get. So if they answer 3 of the 4 correct, it'll give them 0.75 points. But sometimes this is 4 questions. I want it to be worth 4 points. So what I do is I click partial match, and then I go into points and I change the point value on this page to 4 points, however many points the questions are worth. The default's always 1, so you just have to go in and change that. So same thing for your ordering. You can pick like order these events in chronological order, or list the steps in order of the scientific method. And the kids would have to drag and drop. They can have a partial match. So partial match, again, 4 answers. Each answer will be worth a quarter of a point, 1/4 of a point. Or we can translate that to the question being worth 4 points, and each answer would be 1. This partial pairwise is really kind of nice because let's say you're ordering something and immediately the students get the first one wrong, but all the rest are correct. And you're like, I want to give them partial credit because they just missed that first step. The rest of the steps are correct. Well, this actually counts partial credit based on what answer is before it and what answer is after it. So if my correct answers are the pigs built a house of straw, a house of sticks, a house of bricks, and then the wolf tries to get to the pig by blowing it down. So let's say I have everything in the correct order except that top one. So I have straw, sticks, bricks. It's going to give me credit for those ones that are in paired order. So straw, then sticks. So it gives me those 2 points right there. That's really nice if you want to help. If you want to help your kids with that. Now, I always say with ordering, with any of your fill in the blanks, even though they grade themselves, I always go back and double check to make sure Schoology hasn't done anything a little goofy. So fill in the blank text it'll self-grade, Schoology will self-grade it. But again, I always go back because what if the kid accidentally spelled something wrong and I'm like, I know they know how to spell it. Spelling doesn't count on this test. And so I'll go back and check my student responses and my student answers to make sure they didn't miss something. Again, I can have a partial match. I can even say it's case sensitive. So, especially as an ELA teacher, there are some things that they need to capitalize. They need to know that certain words are capitalized, proper nouns, those kind of things. So, I might say it's case sensitive, but I also might say it's not. It's not relevant. The case doesn't really matter, so I can leave that blank. This one, when you just preview the question, I've created a chart. Now, you don't have to create a chart, but this is how I've set this one up. And then the kids will just type in their answers. So very easy, very quickly. You can check and see. Schoology will grade it for you, or if you're like, wow, I need to go back and check, you can do that. This one's also worth 6. It has 6 answers, so to me, it's worth 6 points. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the points to 6 so that it's, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing, cancel, I keep clicking the wrong thing. One other thing that I really, really like about the fill-in-the-blank text and the fill-in-the-blank drag and drop is that, even the drop down, any of the fill-in-the-blank, I can have multiple questions within one question, essentially. So I'm going to show you, if I do fill-in-the-blank text and I create a new one and I say, answer the following questions based on the story. I can say 1, who is the main character? And then underscore if there's a response. 2, who is the, what is underscore response, and so on and so forth. So this makes, rather than having to go in, say, who is the main character? Blank, create question, go through and do all of that, I can very quickly have multiple questions in one, have a partial match, this question being worth, so Sam, man, character versus character. And I can have a partial match, save, and then it's multiple questions within one question. Makes it a lot quicker to create your assessments. I love this for that. The last tip I want to show you is actually your short answer essay. Kind of a funny workaround I figured out. So sometimes I say, write a short paragraph telling me about your weekend. This paragraph must be at least 150 words. So if I don't have, I can put this word limit here and I can say word limit. So it's like, this is the maximum length, but I actually use it as a counter for the kids so they can see that I need 150 words, and they can see when they get to 150 words. And then I make sure I click allow submissions over word limit. So when the kids get over 150 words, they can still keep typing. So showing you what that looks like, when I preview the question, it would be, hello, I had a great weekend. And you can see we have the word limit right here. I just tell my kids, it's not a word limit, it's your word counter. Make sure you get to 150 words. So that's a great kind of workaround hack I figured out that you can use with the short answer essay. I hope these tips will help you when you're developing your Schoology assessments.